Hey guys, what's going on? Payne here once again and welcome back to another episode, well, the last episode of my Manchester United career on FIFA 14. It's gone so quick and now FIFA 15 is right around the corner. It's just a matter of weeks away from being released. I cannot wait. But first things first, did I win the Premier League title with Manchester United for the first time on this version of FIFA 14? Well, the answer to that question is no. I couldn't do it. I was so close to doing it. As you guys just saw with the league table at the start of this episode, Manchester United were 3 points off going into their last game of the season. Unrealistically, it was possible, especially if Chelsea lost their last game of the season against Fulham and United went on to beat Aston Villa by 10 plus goals and also keeping a clean sheet in the process. But the chances of that happening, with me playing as well, were very slim. So I just had to go into this game, United's last game of the season against Aston Villa, in front of the home fans and look for the win. Go out on a high with this Premier League season, get it out of the way and done with, so I could then look forward to the Champions League final. That's right, I made it through to the final of the Champions League. United would be playing against Barcelona, and you guys will be able to see the highlights of that game a bit later on in this episode. 3 minutes into the game against Aston Villa, Marco Reus almost got Manchester United off to a flyer. Perfectly picked out by Juan Mata on the volley, and for some reason the ball like camouflaged into the crowd. So I was like, well, has it gone in? Or has it just gone into the crowd? Obviously it went into the crowd because the players would be celebrating. But it was a good start, and with that United made their intentions known. I was trying to play a high line here, trying to put Aston Villa under pressure. They did have to pass it back to Guzan, but Guzan blasted the ball upfield and they caught me off guard. And Kozak here, I was trying to get the ball off him, but it just wasn't happening. Very frustrating when that happens on FIFA. And so with that, it gave Kozak time, space to push the ball forwards, finding Jermaine. Not really sure what the chip was all about, bit unnecessary. But it doesn't matter, as long as he scored the goal at the end of the day, that's all that counted for Villa. And they did find themselves in the lead. It was a nightmare start for Manchester United, really, on the final day of the season. I did feel at the time that it was a bit undeserved for Villa, but I couldn't look back at that. I had to keep pushing on, see if I could get an equaliser before half-time. Valencia swung in, a dangerous looking ball there, trying to pick out Van Persie. Came back out to Herrera, he found Mata. I went for the finesse shot, trying to find the top left-hand corner, but Guzan out of nowhere with a fantastic save, just palms it away. And so Villa went in 1-0 up. As you can see there with the scores at half-time, Chelsea were leading at the Craven Cottage against Fulham. So the league, it was well and truly out of my reach. It wasn't going to happen for United this season. There's no point thinking about it. Just get on with this game, really, and get it out of the way and done with, as I mentioned, and focus on the Champions League final. And I was slightly concerned that United couldn't find an equaliser against Villa on the last day of the season, because the majority of the players that I started against Villa would be playing in that Champions League final against Barca. So if we couldn't find a goal against Villa, then what on earth were we going to be doing in that Champions League final? How was this team that, to be fair, have done well throughout the season, how are they going to perform against Barcelona, who have topped La Liga? Maybe it was just me having an off day on FIFA, but whatever it was, I couldn't perform like this against Barcelona, otherwise we would be coming away with no silverware whatsoever this season. I mean, that chance by Van Persie that you just saw was the perfect example of United's poor finishing in this game against Villa. You know, it was an open goal. Guzan was flailing all over the place. Van Persie should have slotted that into the back of the net. So United still found themselves 1-0 down against Villa until the 78th minute. Yes, United finally got the equaliser that they were looking for throughout the first and second half. But it wasn't a Manchester United player that scored the goal. Yes, it was Rooney that headed the ball onto the crossbar, but as you'll see here with the better camera angles, the ball dropped. It was definitely, I'm not too sure who it was, but it was definitely a Villa player that accidentally headbutted it into the back of his own net. So back on level terms, and we could build on that, but we didn't have long left of the game. And Aruka for Villa, wow, that could have been the winner there. I was very lucky it didn't find the back of the net. The final whistle did eventually go. The final day of the Premier League season is over and done with, and we could only come away with just a point against Aston Villa. I was very disappointed, and there, guys, is the final league table. Chelsea did in the end beat Fulham and 100% won the Premier League trophy for the second season in a row. They won it last season, if you guys can cast your minds back to that. and now they've won it this season. So all I can say is bring on FIFA 15, because I'm going to be taking this over to that game, and I'm going to put that right. Manchester United will win the Premier League trophy. For some reason it's been such a challenge, but we're going to put that behind us and we're going to focus on when FIFA 15 is released. The awards were announced. The goalkeeper of the tournament was, of course, Manchester City's stopper Joe Hart. He came away with the award. Rooney will take the top goal scorer award of the season, even though he was joint with Van Persie. Only 2 Manchester United players were announced in the team of the season. They were Juan Mata and Wayne Rooney. And here you go, guys. I know some of you have been asking for it. You wanted to see the squad report, and I know I haven't kept you guys updated with it throughout this second season with Manchester United. But I promise when FIFA 15 is released, I'm going to be all over that. Wow, just thinking of it, I've got so much planned for FIFA 15. You guys are just going to have to stay tuned to find out what happens. So excited. But players like Nani, they've really impressed me this season with Manchester United in this career mode save. They've really stepped up their game. Jan Vertonghen has done fantastic over the past 2 seasons. I signed him in my first season, did fantastic. And Wilfried Zaha has saved this team countless times throughout this season, whether it was in the Capital One Cup or the FA Cup, or even in the Premier League. I remember, I think it was the game against Norwich away from home, and he came in and scored the winning goal, and also against West Ham. That was just brilliant. Now, when I was going through the squad report whilst I was recording this, I was seeing players like Stefan de Vrij, who I signed in the January transfer window, and I was thinking, damn, you know, I wish I played them a lot more through the season. So I think when FIFA 15 is released, I'm definitely going to be a lot more methodical in the transfer market and not just go all out and spend big and bring in so many players that it completely ruins the team. And eventually when I do a United career on FIFA 15, because it's inevitable, it's going to happen, I'm not sure whether I will have to spend it in the first season that I do with United, because look at the players that Van Gaal signed in real life. Falcao, Di Maria, I don't need to list them, you guys know who signed for United in real life. So if I'm going to be active in my first season in the transfer market with United on FIFA 15, I'm probably only going to be looking for another centre-half to strengthen that position, because it needs doing in real life as well. And who knows what will happen in my second season, we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. So excited, can't wait. Now, Manchester United's last game of the season would be the biggest test of them all, the Champions League final against Barcelona. I did go with the 3-5-2 formation. It seems to have worked out for me throughout this season. Why not use it against Barcelona? I have Van Persie and Rooney up front, Mata just behind, Royce on the left, Nani on the right, Carrick and Vidal in midfield. I have Vertonghen, Jones, and of course Mats Hummels, the type of game he relishes in. And you just saw Barcelona starting 11. Of course, it wouldn't be a Barcelona team without Lionel Messi in the side, and they got off to a good start here. The referee did brandish a yellow card for Robin Van Persie for an earlier challenge, but Barcelona did have a free kick from a challenge made by Mats Hummels, which you'll see here right now. I can't see how that's a free kick. Mats Hummels like swung his leg round, got the ball first. How's that a free kick? Was that a free kick? Let me know what you think in the comments below, guys. But Messi produced absolutely nothing for Barca with that free kick. I did expect better from him to maybe at least get it on target, but it just went behind. And it was a poor touch made by Song there, which allowed United to maybe go for a bit of an attack there. Eventually they did snuff it out, Barca. Neymar right there was trying to find Iniesta, but Phil Jones, who throughout this game, the whole 90 minutes against Barcelona, really did impress me. You know, I haven't started him as much as I would like to throughout the season, but to come straight into this game against Barcelona, the Champions League final, he really did step up to the plate. He really impressed me. You know how his work rate's fantastic. United, we got some good moments in against Barcelona as well. Great attacking movement, great positioning, but every time we did get on the ball, Barca, they would just shut us down completely. Messi with his dribbling skills wasn't enough though to find Neymar. He was cutting inside there as Mats Hummels did intercept the ball. He was on a yellow card as well, and being a centre-half, he had to be very careful. But it was the last couple of seconds of the first half that really got me on my feet. It'd be Marco Reus with the first goal of the game for Manchester United. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that it would be Manchester United to take the lead against Barca in the Champions League final? Valdez came out to meet him, but he couldn't get a touch to it as the ball was just lifted up over the top of him and found that bottom corner. Just before half-time though, I was wondering why the ref was holding on for so long. Messi had a good chance there, got ahead to it, and with the follow-up, couldn't put it into the back of the net, even though it was gaping. De Gea didn't even have that section of his goal, but Messi still failed to find the back of the net, hitting the side netting instead. Come the second half, Barca looked to turn up the pressure. You can see Messi here just wrestling for the ball, and he pretty much wrestled his way through my defence, finding Busquets, who was making that run in the mix of things. De Gea came out trying to nick the ball from underneath his feet, but in the process, Busquets found the back of the net. So it was all to play for yet again in this Champions League final against Barca. At this point, I was on the edge of my seat. I didn't want to lose this. I wanted to go out on a high with my last season on FIFA 14 with Manchester United, and it would be Nani that displayed some fantastic dribbling skills, beating not one, not two, but three Barcelona players to find his way into the box and have a crack at goal, and he made it count just past the hour mark. Valdez will be questioning his defenders there, as Nani was just given a free pass to make it 2-1 to Manchester United. It did happen, United in the lead for the second time against Barcelona, but I couldn't allow myself to get carried away at this point. I had to try and go for another goal. Vidal hit the ball low and hard there, but Vidal stopped it in its tracks, scooping the ball up into his chest. Eventually, Nani made it 3-1. At this point, I was on the floor after falling off my chair. United 3-1 up against Barcelona, just moments away from that final whistle being blown, and United crowned Champions League winners of 2014 to 2015. I really couldn't believe my luck. It was a fantastic state-of-the-art performance from this Manchester United side, and I looked to make it 4-1 far out with the finesse shot. As the ball was dipping, it did beat Valdez, but it wasn't enough to find the back of the net. The final whistle was eventually blown, and it would indeed. It'd be Manchester United crowned Champions League winners. Nani and Royce, the two goal scorers that saw United go all the way in the Champions League this season. So we will end up this series with United on FIFA 14 with a piece of silverware. It wasn't the Premier League, but the Champions League will do, right? So there we have it. That's pretty much it for this series with United on FIFA 14. I can't thank you all enough for your phenomenal support that you have shown over these past two seasons. It's been incredible, and I hope you guys are ready to do it all again in just a couple of weeks' time when FIFA 15 is released. So that's it from me, guys. I hope that you've all enjoyed. If you did enjoy and you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The links can be found in the description below. That's a wrap. I'll see you all very soon for FIFA 15.